Hello and welcome to this video, and on this video I'm going to be showing you some of my favourite music videos of all time. These are the videos that have really stayed with me over so many years, and I come back to them over and over again. Not only is the music wonderful, but also the actual artistic vision of these various jazz and rock and prog musicians is quite incredible. And so shall we just get straight into this video, because I know you're going to love it. So of course here we have the master Chick Corea. In the 1980s, Chick Corea formed a band called the Chick Corea's Electric Band, and we're going to return to them at the end of this video. But I thought I'd just kick off with them, because they really seem to, exemplify the very best of what jazz rock fusion could offer in the 1980s. And of course, although Chick Corea is an incredible jazz musician, he's still harbored that desire in the 80s to try and access a younger, more commercial audience, an audience growing up with MTV and watching the likes of, Madonna and Prince and Cyndi Lauper. And so he himself, in 1986, forayed into the area of the music video, and we're now going to watch the music video for the track Electric City, which was off the first Chick Corea's Electric Band album. And so you can see here Chick is at the keyboards. He's got a very serious expression. He has quite an interesting, sort of floral shirt and braces combination. But let's just see, and I will be stopping it and reacting to it as we go. So as we see, he's got some dancers with him, and somehow he has some sort of jazz fusion control over these dancers. So on this tiny TV screen, which is actually the TV screen for his synclavier setup, or Fairlight, one of the two, I think it's a synclavier setup. You can see on that he's got these dancers. Now I can tell you who these dancers were. They were called the IDJ dancers, and they emerged in the UK around about the same time as Courtney Pine and the Jazz Warriors and all that sort of British 1980s jazz, uprising. So he's gone and grabbed those, and somehow he has managed to contain them inside his synclavier. So let's see what he's going to do with these guys. He's watching them a little bit like Big Brother, but he seems friendly with them, because we just had a shot of him and he fist pumped one of them, and then it hurt, and they it was all really a joke, which I found very funny. Obviously, I've watched this video over and over again, and that joke has worn thin. But yeah, it's definitely a funny joke, and it's good to see that Chick's got a sense of humour. We can see here Dave Weckl, dressed in white with an incredible mullet. He's not playing the drums here, he's actually playing some sort of staircase, which I think shows how, I don't know, when I watch this video I don't feel like Dave Weckle's completely committed to this video, and I'm sure Chick had a bit of a go at him about this, and I think as penance he had to go and play the staircase. Anyway, as I'll show you, watch this. John Patitucci on bass, Scott Ennis on guitar. Now Chick has he's met the dancers on this metal staircase, and they're having some sort of jazz dance off, which I think is an incredible dramatic device. And let's see where this goes. Of course, the astute will notice that melody there, ba-da, 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 is actually off a Love Supreme, off the opening track, isn't it? Have you noticed that? And Chick's gone and taken that, and he's been able to coddle that, incredible lick into this, sort of generic 80s DX7 washed gated reverb hell, which is what we have here. Shall we carry on? Dave's still playing the old staircase. He's down dancing on an escalator. It's all very entertaining, isn't it? Are we going to get any solos? Now this solo here is absolutely beautiful, isn't it? Chick Corea's phrasing is always so precise and perfect. Yes, it's absolutely ruined by that awful keyboard sound. A lot of dancing going on here. I don't know, I'm trying to give you some background. Now look here, did you see that there? Dave is smiling. He's sat there and he's playing the drums on his lap. Now, I've been involved in pop videos and never ever have I gone, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, I'm just going to sit on this chair and I'll just pretend to drum on my lap with a sort of look of sort of exasperation and feigned humour. I don't feel he's committed to this at all. He doesn't seem up with this at all, and I think this is why Chick then said, look, you're going to can't just go playing your legs, that's ridiculous. Nobody's going to believe that you perform this track playing on your knees, you know, at least go and play the staircase. And I think that's what happened here. He's taking photos of me. Here's Scott. I love the way he's, and you might never see this guitar cable is dangling off. I don't know where it's going. And he's smiling, he's doing what he's told. Now, those of you with any decent jazz ears will probably recognise that wasn't Scott Henderson playing the guitar, was it? It's a fantastic guitar solo, but it wasn't Scott Henderson. There's a lot of alternate picking in there, and he's more liquid in legato and a lot more streamlined. But a beautiful guitar. That was played by the great Carlos Rios, who is actually alive and well. So, Carlos, if you're watching this, hello. I'm glad you're alive and well. I have in previous videos said he was dead. Don't know why I did that for, but. When I watch this, I get this idea that there's this 40-year-old bloke with a bunch of 20-year-old blokes, and Chick Corea is like, there's like an autocratic, despotic control over these kids. We're going to see this really play out later on. What's he do with his chair? That's dangerous, isn't it? And the band's just watching them do it. This is what they do at the hangout, you see. Chick Corea Electric Band. This tune's just going on and on, isn't it? We've heard this, the third time we've heard this. Is this the hook? You will be singing it after this, I tell you. Oh, there's a duel going on now between Chick Corea and, well, it's Carlos Rios, really, but Scott Henderson pretending to be Scott. It's all so strange, isn't it? I can't take this anymore. All right, so I hope it's got you into this. That was sort of, you know, that was sort of average 1980s jazz rock fusion video. It's a separate genre here. They all got involved. Pat Metheny got involved. John Scofield. Now we'll return to these videos because they are truly awful, and that's the starting point. But before we, really get into the jazz, I would like to now traverse out and have a look more in the rock world and see what they get up to. Now, this is one of my favourite music videos of all time, from the early 80s by the Michael Schenker group. And it is for the song Armed and Ready, one of my favourite Michael Schenker tunes. So this being a great tune I grew up with in the early 80s when I first got interested in music, and I started to listen to the new wave of British heavy metal, and I became a huge Michael Schenker fan. And this was one of my favourite tunes by Michael Schenker. So as soon as YouTube came available, I decided to check out the video, and here we have Michael Schenker, and he's obviously having some sort of medical procedure done, having things put onto his brain. Let's see what happens, shall we? They're obviously giving him some sort of electric shock now. And then there's their singer, which I think his name was Gary Bardens. If I've got that right, that really has pulled out some information from the past. Doesn't he look cool with his white flying V? Now you're probably thinking, why is Andy showing this? It's not particularly funny. It's just a straight rock video, isn't it? Great song, and I love this song. And maybe it's just an excuse to play this song to you. But there's something really strange about this video. Where's the rest of the band? Are we to believe that Michael Schenker and Gary Bardens are able to produce this sort of sound in a smoky, Marshall-filled room without anybody else? Where are they? What happened? Could they just not make it? And this is, I think, is the conceit of the pop video, isn't it? And I think now this conceit has got so ingrained in us that, you know, we sort of take it for granted when we watch pop videos. But back then, they didn't quite know how to to deliver this conceit to us. So we get, you know, Dave Weckl playing his knees and Carlos Rios having guitar battles with Scott Anderson in corridors, played by and Chick Corea and all that bit. And then you get this sort of thing here of a band that has come from the 70s, not really knowing how to access the MTV 80s, but feeling they have to, and they start to do stuff like this. But it can get much more horrific than this. Now, have a check this one out. This video is by another rock band from the early 80s. It's actually Journey and the song Separate Ways. This was a big hit for Journey around about 1984. It was off the album Frontiers, and of course they had to make a video to go with it, and I'm going to show you the video. And again, and that's what ties these first few videos together, is the idea of this conceit that they're playing when they're not really playing, and it looks so clunky. But this really is the Bohemian Rhapsody of clunky mimed playing. Just watch this. Look at that. So they start off playing with this, don't they? They start off and they're all doing it. They're all playing in the air. Now, why were so many bands doing this in the early 80s? Especially when I don't think that, you know, playing jazz rock or, you know, AOR rock. I mean, these are all jazz musicians, really. They're all jazz fusion musicians. It doesn't mean you're any good at mime, does it? And so they're not convincing. You're going to see some really unconvincing miming going on in a minute. But maybe they're making a comment on that, you know. So they all start off, and now they've got their instruments, they start to play. A girl comes with white shoes. She's walking sort of in time, not quite. She's looks very authoritarian. And there's the band. Lots of camera angles. I mean, look at Steve Smith in the background, sat on that chair, pretending to drum. And here, what was it? Jonathan Cain, the keyboardist. What is he doing? Is this him pretending to play the keyboards? Because he looks more like a comedy lion. If you actually look at it, I mean, who would ever? I mean, he plays the keyboards. He knows how you play. So why? I know Steve Smith's got bald. He can't help it. He's an old guy now and he's bald. But back then, when he had the balding long hair and that incredible moustache, he had one of the great looks, didn't he? Shall we move on to another thing? Because as you saw, there was some sort of choreography in this. And I want to now look at, probably going to look at about 3 videos which explore the idea of choreography in a pop video. Now, I want to show you how this is done properly by a professional. But not just a professional, by a Welsh professional, which of course are the greatest of all the professionals. Taking a bow here is the great British Welsh singer Tom Jones, who I'm a huge fan of. Now what you're going to see is an absolute masterpiece, and it's like a lesson in moving. Tom Jones can move, right? But it doesn't mean that jazz musicians can move or prog musicians can move. But I want to show you this because it's quite incredible. He's doing the song Treat You Right. This is off his show that ran in the early 70s. I will narrate it as we go because there's so much here to learn. If you saw his legs shook at the thought about what he's going to do. Then he starts up. Now look at this. This is textbook. And he goes straight over to the audience. He hasn't even started the song yet. Straight into the audience where the ladies are. And he's kissing the ladies in the audience. So he's telling me a story. See, I think that's because that's not right doing that, Tom. That's why you've never kissed 2 sisters. He's got this huge band behind him. He's on this sort of psychedelic electric dance floor, delivering the song, flirting with the girls, giving them all a big kiss. It's all great, isn't it? He's relaxed. Now he starts to do this slow move that seems to drive the ladies insane. Now this is what we're talking about, you know. And of course, somebody like Dave Weckl or John Patitucci faced with this sort of thing. Now look, watch this. Oh, it's just incredible, isn't it? Every move choreographed to the music. Okay. Now I know what you're thinking, Anything. You're being ridiculous. Nobody who works in the sort of jazz rock, jazz fusion realm is ever going to be able to match something like this. And this is where you would be wrong, because it has been matched and maybe even surpassed. And I'm about to show you one of my favorite videos, music videos now. And it is by Gino Vanelli. Have a look at this. Now I do apologize for the fuzziness of this video. It's not great quality, but I don't think that really matters. But why they haven't gone in and found, you know, clean this up, because it is one of the great moments in not only musical history but in visual history. Gino Vanelli, you know, hot on the heels of his biggest success, Brother to Brother, an incredible album. Brother to Brother is my Asia. It's my Steely Dan's Asia. You know, I don't care much for Asia. It's okay. But if you want a sort of commercial jazz rock influenced album with tons of drum solos, incredible guitar solos, it's Gino. But Gino is the only jazz rock fusion musician to be able to take the work of Tom Jones and really integrate it in his own style. And I'll show you how this works here. You can hear this sort of proggy jazz rock backing here. But there he is. Here he comes forward with a sort of, as though he's his own horse and he's whipping his own behind, bringing him to the front of the stage. Now, all in white, chest completely exposing this, you know, dense mass of manly chest hair. We're on to a good start. And then look at his actual hair on his head. I don't think anybody in the history of music has quite been able to produce a hairstyle of such power. And look at him, he's acting out the lyrics as he goes. Legs akimbo, front of the stage, vocals pitch perfect. Now down there you just saw there was a lady going wild at this. You can see she's trying to climb up onto the stage. She can't take it. Gino doesn't care. He just keeps walking up and down, tempting them. The great Mark Craney on drum was one of the greatest drummers of all kind. I put him in my underrated drummers list the other day, so you can hear how fantastic. He's got an incredible band here. Backing vocals, it's all there. It's so musically beautiful. But Steely Dan would never been able to muster a performance like this. Look at him stomping up and down. Guitar solo, incredible guitar solo, listen to this. Now that looks like Daryl Stuermer on guitar, and it does sound a little bit like him, but that doesn't matter. The fact is this guitar solo is being transported into the visual form by Gino. Look at that, his leg movements. That ascending movement through those chords is rightfully embodied in that leg movement there. Here he is back. All that movement has only inflamed his hair more, and now it's puffed out into a great big massive mound of power. jazz rock power. And look at the audience he's playing to is absolutely huge. What was going on? And this women as well. What all these women turning up to this? It can't be the jazz fusion licks. It's got to be the hairy chest. Anyway, but I know. Right now, watch this. Now he will embody the music fully. He's got his hands up at his, and he's just waiting between these two musicians. They know what's coming. I know what's coming. Perhaps you don't. He's building up. He's summoning the energy. Oh, that's the lower energy he's being summoned there. Go on, Gino. Now he comes to the front of the stage. Watch this. I won't speak. I mean, is the music actually coming out of him now? You can't tell, can you? Did you see the Donald Trump, fight fist? That's where he got it from. He got it from this video. And now he's literally pulling himself forward towards the audience that are going absolutely wild. And if you look, these ladies now, they're just so inflamed. They're trying to get up on the stage. They've got bouncers coming out. Look at this one. She's clubbed. She can't take it. She's got to go up. She wants to touch him. And he's in slow motion. And his job has been done. Oh, you're glad you came now, aren't you? Right, so that's the example of a sort of, and I don't know if you call Gino Vanelli jazz rock, but that sounds like jazz rock to me. And a touch of prog. I've always thought Gino Vanelli could be very proggy, but that's another video, isn't it? But what we're going to do is now we're going to go back to Chick Corea and show what happens when it goes wrong. This is the Chick Corea Electric Band live in Japan in 1987. They're playing a track Rumble off the debut album again. I think that album, I mean, I do love that album, but as the time goes on, I realise it's the root of so much evil that you can almost like date back to all the problems that we're having now. Probably back to 1986 when Chick Corea's Electric Band first album came out. Now I will join this concert in the middle of Dave Weckle's drum solo. Have a listen to this. Well done, Dave. Now look, what is actually going on here? That's what I want to know. As you could see, Chick Corea was there doing this sort of movement like a sort of toy soldier, but he seems to be directing his musicians. Now, remember this thing I said that I always feel that by this point, Chick Corea got quite despotic. I don't know whether it was the L. Ron Hubbard influence, where, that he felt like he had to create a cult within the Chick Corea Electric Band. But here we have, three of the greatest musicians of all time, absolute legends. John Patitucci, Eric Marienthal on saxophone, and the great Frank Gambale on guitar. Now, if they were in my band, I'd just let them do their thing, but not Chick Corea, not when you're Chick Corea. What do? Is you create a dance routine where you are some sort of Tchaikovsky nutcracker overlord doing your toll soldier, and this is somehow directing these to come out pretending to be robots. But to me, they look more like jazz rock fusion zombies. And I just, can see that Dave Weckle must have been so happy that he played the drums at this moment. Just watch this. They've frozen now. His little clustered piano chord seems to be controlling Frank Gambale in some way. He doesn't want to jump around too much, of course that wig will come flying off. And the sense of relief on Eric Marienthal's face as he finally launches into this, and that, you know, moment of social suicide has now passed. So, yes, this has been my foray into the world of music videos. I've never done it before, but there's so much stuff out there that I think is worthy of having a look at. Now, of course, shall we now move on to progressive rock? I mean, did they ever make any good music videos? So where are we starting with this? See, quite straightforward. They haven't gone to try miming it. They're in a room playing. It all looks quite normal. Well, this is how you do a music video. Absolutely normal. In a room playing. Alan White's got a bit of a neckerchief on, but we can pass over that. And you're watching this and you're thinking, they've got it right. They're not pretending to do anything. They haven't worked any dance routines out. This is how you do it properly. You know, they're not overacting or anything. Hang on. Maybe there's another way to do it. No, John, there isn't. Now what the hell's happening? Right, so. How can they get it wrong when they've got it right? And now, John Anderson's out, he's out in a sort of field somewhere, and all he has to do is put his arms out, and he morphs into an eagle. But he doesn't really morph, does he? It's just a really bad cross dissolve. Right, it's just, they didn't quite have the technology, did they? But it's done. What's going to happen next? Is that Chris Squier getting in his Jag? Yes. Why is he getting in the back seat for? Now, even though the effects were bad on the John Anderson to Eagle morph, that doesn't even make sense. I mean, is he supposed to have morphed into that snake? And what did he get in the back of his Jag for? Because he knew he was going to morph into a snake, and now his chauffeur will drive him around while he's in snake mode. You see, as soon as they try and make any sort of coherent plot come together, it all starts to go wrong, doesn't it? Are they all going to do this? He's just leaning up against a bit of thing. Trevor Rabin is. He's got his trainers on. Oh my God, he's turned into a little lizard fella. And who's this one now walking along dressed in a suit? I don't even know that. So they've all turned into animals, right? You've got the eagle. You've got, what was the next one? You've got the snake. You've got the lizard and the cat. We're sure we need one more. Have I missed one out? We'll soon find out. Or was there only 4 in the band? What about Tony Kaye? Is he in it? I didn't even know he turned into the black cat. One of them would not turn into any of these. I don't know who it was. I got the feeling it's Alan White, because the drummers never want to get involved in such malarkey. And the tune starts up again. I mean, what's going on? Many years ago, when I was younger and more stupid, I decided I wanted to go to the gym. When I got into gym, they had the MTV playing in the background. It was all Earthful music, and I didn't like it, because I'm sat there, I'm trying to do, all of this to Snow Patrol or something. And it wasn't right. I didn't feel right doing it, And then Yes came out, and I thought, if ever a song's going to come on that's going to inspire me to, pump iron, is that the phrase? To pump iron, and get into it. It was Yes. And this video came on, and it started off great, and they looked great. And I thought, this isn't too bad for the early 80s. It's actually shot well. It looks quite nice. And then all that stuff happened with the snake and the lizard. I just threw the towel in, literally. The towel was thrown in. I wasn't going to stay there. I went back home. So you could see that prog musicians like jazz rock musicians, they're no good at this stuff, are they? No good at all. Right. So I thought I should end with something, you know, which is truly awful. My intention here was just to try and look at stuff that is out there and nobody thinks is awful and just point out the awfulness. But I know I need some sort of finale to this video. And watching old Trevor Rabin playing the guitar there, it reminded me of another sort of early 80s AOR guitar hero. And that's, of course, Billy Squier and his incredible video for Rock Me Tonight. I'm sure you've seen it before. If you haven't, you're in for a treat. I just clicked on this. It's got 2.5 million views. And it hasn't got 2.5 million views because of the quality of the music. It's got 2.5 million views because of the quality of this video. So shall we just have a watch through this and I will comment as we go. So Chris Squier is waking up. He's in bed. He's not sleeping in the right place. I tend to have my head up on the pillows and be more straight in line in the bed, but there's no worries there. And the bed seems to be on fire or glowing in a radioactive way. Chris doesn't seem to have anything on, which is a worry. He's getting up. He's tying up his pyjama bottoms, which is good. Getting dressed. Not too bad so far. This is my morning routine. I get up, get dressed, and then have a little dance, you know. And he's having a dance around now of his house. He has some sort of electric door. Now, what is going on now? He's now skipping around his bedroom with complete abandon. I respect the bloke, really. He doesn't care. He's ripped his shirts off. He's got a massive bedroom. I've got to give him that. He's obviously made some money. You know, got my bedroom. You couldn't jump around like that skip with such abandon. Now he's ran up some sort of stair thing that he's got, which has taken him up to on his huge window, and he's outside the building now, isn't he? Is he outside the building? It's hard to tell. No, he's in his bedroom. Why has he got drain pipes in his bedroom? None of this makes sense, does it? Are they drain pipes or are they just poles? Keeping up this huge bedroom roof. I mean, if you've got a bedroom that size, you need to be able to support the ceiling somehow. He got that off Gino Vanelli. Did you see the thing when he pulls himself towards like that and his hair? I mean, this is just Gino Vanelli. Look, but I mean, I don't know much about Billy Squier. Did this ruin his career when he did this? Now, what makes this so truly awful is his dancing.
Now he got that off Gino Vanelli. You see the thing when he pulls himself towards like that and his hair? I mean, this is just Gino Vanelli. But I don't know much about Billy Squier. Did this ruin his career when he did this? And what makes this so truly awful is his dancing.
He's tired now. He attempted to lie on the bed, but he just fell off. That happens to me all the time, that does. As you get older, I mean, Billy Squier must be about 80 years old now, so I'm sure he doesn't jumping around like this, but I bet he's fallen out of bed a few times, I tell you that. You get a bit disorientated in the night, don't you? You don't realise you're up against the edge and you think, I'm going to roll over and bang on the floor you go. I'm just talking now to fill up this bit as he sort of lies on his bed, being all mournful in the middle section. Thank God for that, he's pulled out his guitar. He'd have had that on me all the time. Maybe these moves wouldn't look so silly. What's going on now? He's got a band now. See, if they got a band there, Why not just save some money and just film this bit here? Why set up that elaborate, massive bedroom? And why then dance around it with gay abandon? And there's nothing wrong with gay abandon. I'm a big fan of gay abandon. It doesn't make sense in the context of this setup, does it? Go on, Andy. Keep trying to get out past that point. Is that Billy represented in sort of a sort of Art Deco collage style? I mean, what is he doing? Is he trying to kick the drummer now? No, he's really pushed into him. If I was drumming for him, he did that for me, I'd tell you, get one of these around the bracket, and I wouldn't be worried. I've watched him now. I've seen him with not much on. He's a wiry man, and the way he dances, I don't think he's going to handle himself well in a fight, is he? He shouldn't go, getting his band all worked up like this. They're not going to be happy. I wonder nobody's heard of you now, Billy Squier. So anyway, we'll stop that there. Because if I keep running it, I'll get Kelly Brook on, because she's on this advert. Not that I'm an expert on this advert, but it keeps coming up on my feed. They obviously want me to gamble. I'm not a gambling man. And so I will leave it there with just the arm. So what can I say? We've got to the end of this video. I don't know whether this has worked well, but I'll put it out there and see what people think. I don't know whether it's funny or not, to be honest. These videos seem really funny when I watch them, but then when you try and proffer them as being funny, I don't know whether they are, but we'll see. We'll see what you lot think. If you like this sort of me having to watch, a bit like Max Headroom and going back to the 1980s, because I might cover some modern videos, actually. That might be a way of getting modern prog and modern jazz rock onto the channel. I'll just we'll have to see what happens with the old copyright strikes. Anyway, if you did enjoy this video, then you know what to do, don't you? You're going to put a like on it, you're going to subscribe to it, and then if you want to support me more, you can become a patron. The link is in the description of this video down there, as is my PayPal tip jar link. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm now going to go and wonder whether this was a good idea. Thank you all. Bye bye.